Grand Rising, and we're back. And so we're gonna do this one quickly. I always say that, but then I go on and go on, and I come back for another one. But today we're gonna breathe, and we are going to touch base on something that I've been contemplating for a couple of days now. And a lot of the things that I speak on, some of them are like common sense, right? But like for me, common sense wasn't so common. So I know there's people like me out there. It took me a while. And then there are other things that is imperative that we touch base on because of the importance of it. And so I speak on energy being our greatest currency. And a lot of the things that I speak on, I sometimes, as I hear myself speaking, have to go on and take my own advice. Because it's easy for me to get off balance, get off track. And so I have to remember that energy is my greatest currency. Like right now, energy is my greatest currency. Like I struggle with, getting up at 4 and going to the gym at 5. I end up doing it, but can I manage my time better? Yes, right? So I'm working on that. As I speak on this, I'm working on that myself. But there's another portion of it. When we say energy is our greatest currency, it goes deeper than just managing our time. It goes so much deeper because in the darker realms where people do dark magic, right? Or practice dark arts, what they use is our energy. In order for them to gain access to us, they have to be able to use our own energy against us, which is why it's important that we heal, because the way that they gain access is through our wounds. And so that's where I wanted to come in and touch base on, because I was raised by a karmic family who practices dark magic, right? And so a lot of the wounds that were that I had were inflicted upon me. It was as though I was an experiment, and so they knew exactly what to target because they themselves created those wounds for me, if that made sense. For example, I was molested, right? That was orchestrated. My energy was siphoned. Molestation is a form of energy harvesting. So they knew what to target. And what does that do to you? That causes you to be insecure. That makes you feel unlovable, not worthy, not wanted. Like such and so, like that. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So they knew exactly what to target in order to be able to siphon that energy, and in order for them to be able to attach any entities to me. I hope that makes sense. I just got a notification, and it got me a little bit off track because my daughter's running late for school. She has a field trip. Let me go check. I'll be right back. I'm back. I don't hear anything, so I'm just going to keep moving. I'm going to leave the door open just in case. Okay, and so I was reflecting. For the past few days. I was reflecting on, and also because of my daughter, because she's been also being spiritually attacked, right? And I see how emotional she gets. Not only is she like a preteen, but then also she's dealing with spiritual warfare, right? So I have to go on and teach her how to manage her emotions, how to master her energy, how to use her time wisely, because these are the things that are going to help her later on to be a successful human being, right? So I see her, and I see her overwhelmed, and I see her dripping out her emotions over little tiny things, right? And although I know she's being spiritually attacked, I know also how to help her manage that. Now, I can't enable her by sugarcoating things or making it easier for her. I have to teach her how to manage her energy, how to master herself, right? And how to master her emotions, and how to master her energy. The same thing that we as adults need to learn. Now, how beautiful is it to learn it as a child, right? Because that would prevent so many issues later on. So I see my daughter and I'm like, wow, these people have to, like, they like to get us young because it's easier for them to be able to just keep poking on the wound, and then this is how these people end up becoming what they become and joining these types of groups and doing these diabolical things that they do and taking it to hell, literally taking it to hell. And so that made me reflect, and I said, you know, throughout my entire life, these people knew exactly what to target, what wounds to target. So it was something where, with my karmic mother, she knew to throw me out at a certain age and then do it again and do it again and kick me out and do it again and do it again and blaspheme and slander my name and gossip and defame my character. She knew to do this because she knew what wounds she was triggering, and that would make me feel lonely, that would make me feel abandoned, that would make me feel hurt, right? And then at that point, they're able to send whatever entities they want to send, whatever spirits of depression, whatever spirits of anxiety, whatever spirits of all of these things that we say mental health, right? They're also spirits. And the way that they gain access to that is through our wounds. And so these people that practice the dark arts, they know this. That's why they like to go into our Akashic records to find out what experiences we had and what traumas we endured, and for them to be able to trigger them so that they can gain access to us. And so I was going to speak about our energy, right? So this is where it gets juicy. So because they know this, because they know that through our wounds is the way that they're able to siphon our energy, right? Attach entities to us, attach spirits of the lower realms to us, right? What they do is, because they're now sending a spirit, let's say they're sending a spirit of depression, or a spirit of like depression or apathy, or like, I'm tired, I don't want to get up from bed, I don't want to go to work, I'm just lethargic, right? These are spirits that they're able to send. Now, what happens there is that now you're in bed, you're put in the position where you're unable to function, right? And you're just sad and you're depressed and you're consumed by the experiences that you had before. And because they keep replaying the cycle, they keep triggering the trauma, you automatically go back into that cycle again. And then you repeat the cycle. So while you're repeating that cycle of, my mother doesn't love you, my family abandoned me, nobody loves me, I'm hated by the world, right? Now, since they have they have siphoned the energy that was good, the energy for you to move, the energy for you to manifest, they take that, they siphon that from you because they're not able to manifest it on their own, right? Now they're the ones that are going to work. So they're able to go to work at 3 a.m. and have energy all day long, and then go back home and clean and cook and pretend to be an uptight member of society. Meanwhile, you're depressed and sad, taking medication. That's if they don't send a spirit of addiction as well, where you're now on drugs to be able to function or not, or to just be able to go to sleep. So I wanted to bring that up so that we can start understanding how important our energy is and how important it is to heal. Because when we heal, there's no way that they can attach anything to you. And remember, everything is energy. So these are not things that you see that with your physical eyes. You're not able to see them sending a spirit. You're not able to see a spirit attaching to you. You're not able to see you're not able to see it. This is all done energetically, which is why it's important that we keep our vibrations high, that we heal, genuinely heal, and forgive it all. No matter who it was, no matter what was done, forgive it all, because that is the access point to the enemy. And so people who go this far to do this, they're no longer able to manifest on their own. They're not able to produce their own energy. That's why they have to steal it.